Former NBA star Terry Rozier. hmm Yeah, he's caught up in some mess, y'all. So the feds are putting some new charges on him. Okay, they're citing 100K bribery charges. Yeah, okay, and more gambling allegations. Okay, it's getting real rough for Mr. Terry Rozier. Yeah, but we're gonna get into it. So what happens when a professional basketball star, okay, right? Okay, he's in a basketball game and it becomes worth more to gamblers than the final score itself. Yeah, that's what happened to old Terry Rozier, right? Okay, he's apparently and allegedly wrapped up in some bribery, okay, for throwing a game. Now, what happened was what the federal prosecutors are alleging that Terry Rozier, okay, former NBA player, he didn't just have a bad game, right? So he wasn't shooting his free throws, okay, he wasn't getting his rebounds, okay, right? They didn't say, had injury. No, he just wasn't having a bad game, but he may have intentionally left the game early as part of a gambling scheme, right? Not a scheme that Ty has set up. Come on, Terry, right? Okay, so we're talking about former NBA star Terry Rozier, right? He is now facing new federal bribery charges in a case that could become one of the most controversial sports gambling investigations in our country, right? That's huge, right? Because y'all know these athletes, and we pay them, or not we, like I got money, chat, but yeah, they are get paid millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, right, to play this professional sport. And to even think that one of them would even throw a game for a little $100,000, what was going on with Terry Rozier, baby? Did you need some money? What is happening, right? Okay, $100,000 bribe. Man, honey, what was happening? Okay, now, if the allegations are true, prosecutors say this wasn't just about winning or losing. Apparently, it was allegedly about manipulating player statistics, right? Okay, so everybody was betting on their stats. Okay, it said they had insider information and tens of thousands of dollars changing hands behind the scenes. So basically, somebody knew, hey, if you go ahead and make sure your stats don't hit, maybe us behind the scenes can get a little couple $100,000, and then we'll break you off for throwing the game. Just walk away. Don't hit them stats like we know you are going to do. But the gig is up. Somebody told, a little birdie said what happened was, and Terry Rozier is caught up in some fool la la. Now, so let's break down what had happened. Okay, so there's a new federal indictment filed in Brooklyn. Prosecutors have added serious new charges against Terry Rozier. The government is now accusing Rozier of bribery, not bribery, Terry. Oh my goodness, in sport contests and conspiracy to commit honest services wire fraud. So now we got the wire fraud on top of him walking out on the game, right, and taking a little handout, taking a little bet. Now, the allegations are centered around a March 2023 game when Rozier was playing for the Charlotte Hornets, not the Charlotte Hornets. Oh my goodness, man, Rozier, maybe he must have was down bad during that time. They say allegedly a lot of players have gambling issues when they be betting against themselves. They are trying to get a little quick money because they done overspent, right, with those multi-million dollar mansions and the extravagant cars and the jury. So it looks like he's a part of, unfortunate, that statistic where he overspent his salary in the NBA and he's resorted to illegally betting against himself. Yeah. Now, federal prosecutors claim gamblers can place large wagers on Rozier's player props. Okay, especially, okay, that his points, his assists, his rebounds, and other stats would finish well below the sports book projections, right? So the only way to guarantee that he would finish well below his rebounds, okay, his points, okay, his assists, would that he would have to be actively involved in making sure he didn't hit those, right? So, according to the prosecutors, the plan allegedly depended on one thing: All he had to do was simply leave the game early, fake an injury, okay? Um, get in an argument with the other players, okay? Foul out, okay? Do something drastic to where you aren't able to finish the game. If you're not able to finish the game, you're not able to hit those stats, right? Boom. So Terry Rozier decided to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to hit a quick lick and I'm not going to finish the game and I'm going to take this money. Allegedly. Allegedly. That's what the prosecutors are saying, right? Now, the government alleges that Rozier exited the game. That's the March 23 game in Charlotte Hornet with the Charlotte Hornets. He exited the game while signing a lingering leg injury. Remember I said, okay, fake an injury. So he had a leg injury. So he had a lingering leg injury, which could be plausible. So if you look in the records and he had some knee injuries, some shin injuries, something was bothering him, it could most have definitely said, hey, you know what? He's going to have to leave the game. His injuries, his knees are flaring up. He's not going to be able to stay in the game. So it's plausible for him to leave, right? Now, the prosecutors claim that his early departure allowed certain bettors to profit from the wagers that depended on him producing lower than expected numbers, right? Now, so you're like, okay, well, how in the world are the prosecutors saying because of his leg injury that the bettors profited over it, right? So catch this, right? So according to the court filings, more than $250,000, y'all, more than $250,000 was allegedly wagered on those outcomes. So, baby, they put two and two together and said the jig is up. Ain't no way $250,000 was wagered on you not making your assists, your points, your rebounds. There is no way $250,000 should have been wagered on this stat. Right, so that led prosecutors to say, okay, yes, he's betting on himself. He's taking some bribes. We're going to look into this a little further, right? Now, this is where the story takes an even more dramatic turn. There's more to it. It ain't that cut and dry, right? Now, federal prosecutors also alleged that Rozier was originally expected to receive $100,000 payment, right? 100K, right? But according to the indictment, that amount was later reduced to 70,000. He's like, wait a minute now. He said I left the game early. I did what y'all said y'all wanted me to do. Why my money getting cut? Why down to 70,000? Okay, now Rozier recorded 4 rebounds during the game before. Okay, leaving, causing some of the wagers to lose. So I guess maybe he was having a little bit of a hard a conscience, right? To say, now I can't make it that easy for these bettors, right? Okay, I got to put some points up there. My career, my stats. I'm an NBA player. I got to do a little something, right? So he did put some rebounds up on the board. So that made him drop his money down from 100K to 70,000, right? Okay, now think about that for a second. According to the government's allegation, even those 4 rebounds may have impacted the success of the betting strategy. Isn't that crazy? Only 4 rebounds, y'all. 4. That's how much money that he was able to affect just in his stats. That's crazy, right? Now, these allegations from prosecutors have not been proven. These are just allegations. These are what they're thinking allegedly happened. These have not been proven at all, right? And Rozier has denied participating in any of this scheme. Okay. He said, no, I was not participating in it. I left because my leg was injured, right? And Terry Rozier has maintained his innocence, okay, and maintained that he has never participated in any alleged gambling scheme, right? He previously pleaded not guilty to charges, including wire fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering conspiracy as well. Now, his legal team is also pushing back aggressively against these new charges, right? They said they trumped up charges, okay? So his legal team is pushing back. According to his attorney, prosecutors are simply introducing new legal theories and effect to keep the case moving forward, right? So they're trying to propel momentum. So by adding new charges, it's keeping the court cases going. Now, the defense position, it remains clear. Rozier denies any wrongdoing and intends to fight these charges. And that's a very important point to remember on this, right, baby? He said he's not going down without a fight. He said he's adamantly innocent, okay, and he did not participate in any type of scheme. So at this moment, these are accusations, only accusations at this time, right? Okay, and that is according to the federal indictment. Now, this case has not been decided in any court as of yet as well. So these are only indictments that's came down from the feds right now. However, regardless how the case ends, the investigation does highlight a growing issue with the professional sports leagues are facing worldwide. Okay. Sports gambling has exploded. Okay, y'all see prize pits. Yeah, y'all see that all these commercials where everybody got that on their different live streams and different videos, right? Okay, it has exploded. Okay, sports gambling has really exploded in this new day and era, right? Betting apps are everywhere. Okay, you can bet online, you can bet on the apps. Okay, online betting is huge, right? All over from the East Coast to the West Coast. And player prop bets have become one of the fastest growing sectors in sports wagering, right? It's one of these new trending bets that everyone is getting into. Okay, they're betting on how many points a player scores. Okay, they're betting on how many rebounds they grab. They're betting on how many assists they record. Okay, whether they play a certain number of minutes, baby, it's getting wild out here, right? Okay, anything you can think of, okay, they are betting on with these players. So they're betting on minutes, they're betting on rebounds, they're betting on points, okay, betting on assists. Anything they can think of, people are betting on it, and it's getting wild out here. Now, and because of that, every injury report, every lineup change, and every unexpected exit suddenly becomes very valuable in information, right? So if a player is injured, if a player is sick, if a player is leaving the game, right, those stats are being affected. And people are betting on those stats. So it make a huge impact on whether you win or lose in the betting world. Okay, right? There's a lot of money on the line when it come down to these stats. Now, the federal authorities appear to believe that some individuals attempted to exploit that system. Okay, and so the investigation is starting to expand because there's, I guess, more people involved in the scheme, right? Okay, also, new to the indictment that was filed the same day is a sports bettor and influencer that goes by the name of Mars Fairley. Okay, now Mars Fairley, he pleaded guilty. Okay, now he pled guilty. Now this is why Terry Rozier is so caught up. He pled guilty to federal charges connected to the gambling schemes involving basketball games in both the U.S. and China. Baby, he was worldwide with it, right? Okay. Now prosecutors say Fairly admitted to using insider information to gain advantages when placing bets. Okay, now this development suggests investigators are examining a much broader network than just one player on one game, right? So we've got a whole network of individuals, okay, that are have inside information, okay, that assist with the betting world. So for now, Terry Rozier remains free on a $3 million bond, okay, as the legal battle continues. Now, the former NBA star denies all allegations against them, right? Okay, and all the prosecutors are saying, okay, they are escalating the case with new bribery related charges that could significantly raise the stakes. Now, the biggest question is real simple. Will prosecutors be able to prove their allegations in court? Now, that's a hard one to prove, right? Okay, his leg was injured. They got documented records. Okay, he's been to the doctor. We've got x rays. Okay, we've got scans. Okay, he's got doctor testimony that yes, he's injured. Yes, he's hurt. Can you prove in court that he actually faked his injury to leave so that the bettors could win on their wagers? That's hard to prove, right? Or will Terry Rozier successfully defend himself and clear his name? Okay. And in this case, as it moves forward, it could become one of the most closely watched gambling related, okay, prosecutions involving a professional athlete in years. Yeah, this is a big one. Yeah, really, really big. Right. We will be watching every development. Yes, we will. Okay, so we will keep y'all updated on what's happening with the Terry Rozier indictments. Okay. All right. And what do y'all think about these allegations? Do you think it's true? Do you think Terry Rozier, okay, participated in this scheme, right, to get $250,000 of bets, okay, against his stats? Or do you think they're simply reaching, right? They're simply reaching. They're thinking he was able to get those bets in by not staying in the game. Are they reaching? What do y'all think about this? Are the allegations true? Okay, or do you think Terry Rozier, okay, will be found not guilty? All right, y'all. Well, I thought this was interesting here. Hey, topic. Y'all drop down in those comments below and let your girl know. All right. Well, again, my name is Tanya Marie here with Bold One for Life, where we want you to be unique, be different, but most importantly, just be you. Thank y'all so much for always coming on in the room and blessing your girl with your presence is greatly appreciated. Until next time, y'all. Ta ta for now.